Alright guys, how y'all doing this late Sunday evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993 and we are here, live for my live review of this past Friday night's episode of Smackdown as I complete my catch-up for my content day this Sunday. Sadly, softball season ended today as my team lost in the first round of the playoffs. So my Sundays will be a little more open, of course. Well, then again, next weekend is a holiday weekend, so maybe different. But I'm catching up here tonight. Latest Seinfeld reviews, latest baseball news, and all my wrestling content. Clean slate starting tomorrow. But I'm definitely going to be behind on content probably for a week or two. Because the next 2 weeks are going to be busy. Especially content-wise on the channel. Worthwhile content, of course. And just other stuff going on. So we'll talk about that at the end of what's to come. I do apologize this is late. I was hoping to get to do this review on Friday. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch Smackdown till yesterday. Because my Friday was not as planned. I had everything's okay, had a family emergency, but everything's okay. But I will catch up on SmackDown as I did get to watch it. Overall, it was a decent episode. It wasn't mind-blowing, amazing. I mean, other than the Drew McIntyre video package they had, which was very well needed. As the past month, they've really needed to, reestablish Drew McIntyre as the main eventer he was when he give him that momentum back that he had gotten when he was going into WrestleMania 36 to fight Brock Lesnar. And I think for the most part they've done a good job bringing that back. Other than that, again, it wasn't a bad episode. It's just it's just like a decent episode where it did its job, but nothing mind-blowing worthy. Next week's episode, though, is taped, since they're going to be flying overseas to Cardiff. And when I was trying to pull up the results of this past week's SmackDown, just so I had to, calculate my grade and whatnot, I accidentally read the spoilers for next week's episode. Nothing too exciting or whatnot, so it should be another decent episode. I'll get to it again at my the schedule for the week for streams after this. So, but let's talk about SmackDown. I'm not going to be up here too long. Just in and out, pretty close. What's up, Tyler? He gave the show a B-. Okay, close to what I gave, but that's totally fine. But this SmackDown was live from Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Again, we are a week away from WWE's Clash at the Castle event in Cardiff, Wales. We opened up with a promo from Happy Corbin, which I'm hoping they change his name soon, say Ricochet is a star because he has no staying power and he's going to win tonight. Well, not the case, because Ricochet did beat Happy Corbin in another pretty solid match. I feel like their first match was a little bit better, but again, you can tell that, they're definitely giving Ricochet some freedom again, allow him to do some maneuvers that he wasn't supposed to do. So, I appreciate that for a rematch. Just maybe time to move on to something else for Ricochet. Hopefully. But Ricochet gets the victory. We have Hit Row and the Street Profits who run into each other backstage saying that they've got the smoke, and Doc does something similar about all of them, and which is that they're all about that money. So, Hit Row and Street Profits, even though Street Profits are on Raw, Hit Row on SmackDown, they're chilling. Random, but who knows. We had the first of a 2-part video package for Drew McIntyre and his heritage and his journey to a title match in his own homeland. And of course, basically it got up to the point where basically the first part of the video package covered basically up to when he got fired, and then the second half was when he came back and what he did and whatnot, and of course how his journey has led him, of course, to Roman Reigns, which is again the opportunity for him to get his redemption in his hometown, in his home country, which would be, of course, amazing and well deserved for sure for Drew next Saturday. Karrion Kross, though, has a promo about how Drew's dreams mean nothing and this time is coming. Of course, we'll talk about, we are supposed to be having Kross's debut, well, not his re-debut, next week on SmackDown. Then we have the last chance qualifying match, since Toxic, it was supposed to be on this show, supposed to be Raquel Gonzalez and Aaliyah versus Toxic Attraction's Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Unfortunately, Gigi Dolan suffered an injury, so they had to make a change, and they brought in, of course, a second chance match between all four teams that lost. It was a quick match, didn't really do much at all. It was actually not really that great. The best part of the match was Brooke doing suplexing Nikki Ash off the top rope, and it looked like that Nikki had landed funny on her leg, so I hope she for real didn't get hurt. But then Sonya Deville then rolled her in and snuck the pinfall victory. So Natalya and Sonya Deville were getting their second shot against Raquel and Aaliyah later on in the show. We also get a hype reel for Shayna Baszler. Then we have a segment with Sheamus, well, the Brawling Brutes, and I guess Imperium, whatever you want to call the duo of Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser, which, by the way, the one that they played this week was cool. How many times, is this me, or have we changed Gunther's theme music like 5 times since he's been called up to the main roster? Or is it just me? I don't know, but it's been changed many, many times. Have him settle on something, please. Quit, changing it around. Anyways, so Sheamus came out and cut a promo about how he's going to win the IC title at Clash at the Castle, the only title he's never won. Out comes Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser, and then Ludwig recites his spiel, but Sheamus cuts him off and says that nobody knows what he's saying, so just zip it and shut up for a second. He beats with Gunther, how he called himself the Ring General, but Sheamus claims that he is the real Ring General. He's faced the best and beat every one of them. He's faced from Drew McIntyre to Randy Orton to John Cena to Roman Reigns, even the King of Kings himself, Triple H. Even though it's like, yes, I think you beat him down, I think it was, at Extreme Rules in 2010. You lost him, though, at WrestleMania 2026, though. But nobody in the business has had banger after banger after banger after banger like he has, though. The truth is, he sees a lot of himself in Gunther. Been years since he's seen someone with the same brutal physical qualities, and just like him, he likes to go to war in this ring, but he's got something he wants, the Intercontinental title. And at Clash of the Castle, Sheamus will drag that title off his lifeless body and into the belly of the Red Dragon. Gunther says he respects Sheamus, but he'll teach him what violence really means, and in Cardiff, he won't just retain the title, but he'll chop his chest into bloody bits, break his body, his spirit, break the man that everybody thinks cannot be broken. Which, part of the promo was similar to me when this promo that Triple H cut on Sheamus in 2010, somewhat of like, I see a lot in you, I jumped on, well, then again, he didn't choose, so it's not completely like it, but it had a little bit of similar vibes to it. But then, of course, even though it was 2-on-1, Pete Dunne, mainly Pete Dunne, Ridge Holland got involved a little, but Pete Dunne brawled with Ludwig Kaiser, but in the midst of all the brawling around them, Sheamus and Gunther just stared each other down. It was kind of funny, to be honest. They just stared each other down, didn't even blink, while all the chaos is going on around them, until at the end where Sheamus held Butch back, and then Gunther held back Ludwig Kaiser. But I think this will be a sleeper match for sure. I mean, I feel like, like Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns is probably going to steal the show on Saturday, but I think you gotta definitely give Sheamus and Gunther a shot as well. That's gonna be an awesome physical Intercontinental title match. I don't know if Gunther's even really faced anyone also his own size here that was as much of a threat like Sheamus, though, so definitely could be some of the biggest competition he's had since so far in his career. We have Natalya and Sonya being interviewed backstage. While they're being interviewed, Doudrop and Nikki Ash were bickering in the background. Don't know what they're talking about. We then have a segment with Sami Zayn go to see Roman Reigns again. They had a good talk last week, so might as well have another great talk today. The Usos greet him and gave him a hard time for losing last week, especially Jay. But Sami says he thought Roman would want to see him after last week. But then Roman basically tells Sami he can come in. And Sami asks, how's everything going? Roman says it's okay. And Sami says his jaw is still a little sore from last week, but Roman reminds him that he lost, and Zayn half-heartedly tries to beg off. But then Roman says sometimes bad things happen, so we can redeem ourselves. And he thanks Sami for helping out last week, taking a Claymore kick for him, pushing him out of the way of doing so. Same thing he did with the Usos. But he claims that's something family would do. And Sami says he's happy to do it, and he wants Roman to know he can count on him. Then Roman says that's good because he needs another favor. He's Drew occupied, and with his eyes off the ball, Sami says his match against Drew tonight is the perfect opportunity, and he'll get in his head. By the time he gets to Cardiff, Roman will be able to knock him over with ease. Samuel tries to get them to help out, but Roman says, as a tribal chief, he's a distraction out there. And then Sami turns right around and thanks him for the opportunity to prove himself. He shakes hands with Roman and Jimmy, but then Jay gives him the cold shoulder because Jay just doesn't like him. Then we have Raquel and Aaliyah defeating Natalya and Sonya in an average match. And, of course, Bayley's cronies were at ringside. So on Raw tomorrow, it's going to be the finals. Dakota Kai and Io Sky taking on Raquel Gonzalez and Raquel Rodriguez, still not used to that, and Aaliyah. And all I can say is, I'm pretty sure Io Sky and Dakota Kai will win. But what would be awesome tomorrow night, since I will be there live, is if they win, and as soon as they win, you hear the Snoop Dogg song, and Sasha Banks and Naomi make their return, and they, of course, want a shot at the tag titles. So we'll see, of course, if that's how it goes down or not. We'll have to see. Hit Row then interrupt Maximum Male Models photo shoot. Well, actually, we think it's Hit Row first, because they're on the bus. You hear a Saint Tour bus, and then they spray painted Hit Row sucks on the bus, on the front of the bus. But then, of course, Street Profits come out. This was them the whole time as Hit Row wasn't in there. I think they challenged Maximum Male Models to a match, I believe it was. Then we got this segment with the New Day, Xavier Woods in a wheelchair, when he says this is hard, and they really underestimated the Viking Raiders. Kofi admits they've been getting their asses kicked over and over the last few weeks, and Ivar cracked his ribs on a splash. Woods says they have to face a harsh reality. They saw the Viking funeral and saw them burning boxes of Bootios and New Day shirts. They talk like they're contemplating accepting the end of the New Day when the rating horns go up. Which, of course, at first I'm more so thinking they should have at least waited over another week or so before they brought back New Day, especially if they basically burned everything of theirs last week. The Viking Raiders came out though and said this is pathetic how they gave New Day a proper send-off, and instead of leaving with honor, they're out here sniveling. And Woods asks if they can just have a few minutes to say what they need to say, who has a blanket over his legs. And Eric says a Viking despises weakness more than anything in the world. It makes him sick to see Woods in the ring groveling like a wounded animal, and sometimes the best thing for a wounded animal is to put them down. And of course, they get in the ring. Kofi distracts them. And Xavier Woods throws a blanket off and tosses Kofi a kendo stick. And Xavier Woods is fine. So they just beat down the Viking Raiders with a kendo stick, and next week we're getting like a Viking rules match. I don't know. I appreciate that Triple H is at least finishing stories that was around when he took over, get creative control before moving on to at least make it make sense. But it's definitely not that appealing. I really haven't cared about this New Day Viking Raiders feud. I mean, don't get me wrong, Viking Raiders have like repackaged a little bit, have the new heel persona, which is fine, but I don't know. I want something different from New Day, in my opinion. So we got that. I already mentioned about Maximum Male Models. The Usos then chat with Sami Zayn. Jimmy tells Sami that Roman doesn't talk like that to everybody, and this is a big deal. Jay tells him that he wears that shirt because he better level up and rise to the occasion, and then yells at him to never disrespect him or his family and handle his business. And then, of course, Sami goes out. This is after they do also the second part of that Drew McIntyre promo. And Drew and Sami had a solid match. I like how, at the beginning, even though Sami did kind of do, the mind game stuff, he did actually seem to wrestle more than he has, in recent years. So I'm still thinking that, they're definitely planting more seeds for that babyface turn coming up. But Sami, of course, loses with the Claymore kick. Roman comes down, and then him and the Usos beat him down. Sami even got involved and hit a haluva kick on him. And they beat him down pretty bad that his back was all beaten up. And the show goes out the air with Roman sitting on top of him on a chair. And that's the show. It was decent, like I said. It wasn't a complete waste of time, but not too much really happened. Just a little bit like a breather episode. I gave it a C+. Check the live chat, and then I'm heading out because I'm tired. Getting tired, gave the show a B-. Jack Benedicto wants to see Malachi Black versus Gunther. If that was possible, definitely agreed. Drew should win the world champions. I agree. Split the world and tag titles. I agree. Fire Horseface. Nah, not my. Well, not. I don't want it. But if you want a title, it's fine. Triple H making the IC title great again. All titles. Live as nerdy and get rid of these women's tag titles. I'd agree as well. All right, guys. Well, that was quick. Not much to say, but I am tired. But before I go, let me mention what's coming up this week. I don't know when everything's going to get done. I'm assuming... So tomorrow's Raw. I will be going to Raw. So, of course, either way, I will not be reviewing when I get home tomorrow night. Because I'll be tired, and it's going to be late, and I have work. Tuesday, before I go to trivia, I will review Raw. Wednesday, I am with my fiance. Thursday, I will try to catch up on as much content as possible. Doing my Clash at the Castle preview predictions. Yes, I'm going back and doing those. As well. Dynamite review. And if I can get my All Out preview predictions in as well, that will be excellent. So I will have some graphic work to do over the next couple days as well. So got that. And then my weekend's completely up in the air. But even though, of course, last time I didn't start Raw and SmackDown views till after SummerSlam, I will still do a Raw, even if it's after the pay-per-views. I will still review SmackDown and both pay-per-views. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm supposed to be watching Clash of the Castle with some friends on Saturday. Not sure about All Out, since All Out's been very wonky with the bill, especially this past week. But yeah, I have a list of several streams to do. And again, I have my Seinfeld reviews that I have one more disc left. I also have one more part of my Harry Potter Let's Play to do too. After that, maybe I may try Wolfenstein again. Not guaranteeing, but it's possible. Alright, guys, but I'm going to check out. I'm tired. What are your thoughts on SmackDown? I gave it a C+. Make sure your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. Again, we have a lot to do this coming week. I'm looking forward to it. I'll catch you guys soon. Have a great start to your week. And good night. Peace out, everybody.
no escape.